Hi everybody, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a Stampin' Show and Tell for you today. Actually, we're going to be casing a card. This is a card I received from a demonstrator in my upline group. This was made by Ethline Tim Rays. She's out of my Oregon, Washington group where I do demo swaps with, and when I shared this card with my stampers last month, they asked that we could copy it. So we're going to copy and selectively edit it today. Now you can see my card now is not an exact duplicate. I didn't have all of the elements that she used, but I made a close copy, and I'm going to show you how I did that today. Okay, so let's get started. It's a very vanilla card, lots of layers, but simple layers really. So here is where I've started. I have my envelope, I have a card base, I've cut 1/4 of my paper down to be 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be embossed with our impression folder, Woodland. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that out. I've already done that on the Big Shot to save us a little bit of time today on the video. So here's my embossed piece. Okay, so that's going to go on our card. And then we have a piece of crumb cake. Okay, now she ran hers through the corrugated folder, but I don't have the corrugated folder, so I used the Layered Leaves dynamic folder, and I ran my crumb cake through there. Okay, so we'll swap that piece out. That's going to become a layer. All right, then from there, we are also going to need some of our die cuts here. Okay, so on this 1/4 sheet of Very Vanilla, we will stamp a pine cone, and we'll also get our 3 dies out of there. Well, 2 dies and a punch. So when I run this through my Big Shot, I'm going to get a rectangle die and an oval. Okay, I'm going to use my leaf punch here to get a leaf out of there, and then I'm going to stamp 1 pine cone, and we'll die cut that with our coordinating framelits, just like that. Okay, now I've done that ahead of time so I don't have to have the Big Shot on the table today. So let me bring in the pieces. So as you can see, there's my little leaf, there's my oval, my rectangle, and my pine cone. So easy enough to get all that out of a 1/4 sheet. Okay, so let's see. I've got this piece now. I've got this I'm going to stamp on, and I've got 1 leaf. Now, as you can see, I've got multiple leaves here. I'm also going to take a vellum, and I'm going to get 2 vellum leaves. I'm going to just add a little frill in there, and I need 1 copper leaf. Now, Ellen used gold foil and gold thread, but I did not have gold thread, so I used the copper so that I could coordinate my thread. Alright, so there are 4 leaves. So let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Now I borrowed my sentiment from the Petal Palette stamp set. I like the stamp set for words, and this one worked well. Life is so much better with you in it, and I'm going to put that right along the right hand side of my tag. Okay, so there's all that stamping. While I'm doing the stamping, just so I can get that ink tucked away and I won't get it on anything else, I'm also going to add a pine cone to my envelope, because if you're going to stamp a card, you might as well stamp the envelope too, right? Alright, so there's our stamping. So now let's start assembling our card. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring my snail in, and I'm going to adhere my Woodland panel with snail to the card. Now I'm not adding this one with dimensionals because everything else is going to get kind of popped up on layers of dimensionals, so I don't want it too thick for the envelopes. Alright, so there's that. Now I'm also going to add my crumb cake with snail. Okay, this is going at the bottom. So those are just overlapping textured panels. Okay, next we can go ahead and use dimensionals. I am going to pop up my pine cone on the oval. Oh, wait, I'm not going to do that yet. Do you see why? I have that thread in there. So let me wait on that for a second. Alright, I'm going to add my oval to my card. I can do that. So I'm putting some dimensional behind that. And that's going to go right here on my card. Now I stopped myself from putting that pine cone on because I want to add a metallic thread. This is kind of a nice light element, right? It's super fine because it is thread. I'm going to take about 2 lengths of my scrap sheet here. So about 32 inches. Ay, ay, ay. Excuse me one moment while I turn off my phone. I completely forgot. Alright, moving along. So like I said, 2 lengths of the thread. Now the thread, I know it's hard to see. Thread, I am just going to get the ends together. And then I'm going to just hold on to those ends, and I'm just going to wrap around my hand a couple of times. Just like so. You can make it a bigger loop if you want. Okay, and then here's what I do. I get a glue dot, or you could just put down some snail, whatever you fancy. I'm just going to put a glue dot there, and I'm just going to stick my thread to it. Just kind of wonky-ish. And then you can kind of pull it, fan it out a little bit, right? It's not precise. It's not like a ribbon. It's just loosey-goosey, kind of filler. And then I'm putting that right over the top. Okay, there, that's on. Okay, now I'm going to bring those glue dots because that's how I'm going to add my leaves. So we're going to have our tag down here, but I'm not going to put that on quite yet. So first I'm going to add a vellum leaf. So I put my glue dot on the back of my vellum stem. So I kind of have an idea where that's going to go. So I need to just put my vellum leaf here, and then I'm going to put my foil leaf next to it. If you want to add one behind your leaf as well, I have one on the stem, one on the leaf, that's fine. So that's just going to go there. Okay, and that vellum one just adds a little bit of fullness to the card. Now, I'm going to use linen thread on the tag. And so what I found is I take 12 inches twice. So I take 2 pieces at 12 inches long. Okay, get those ends. Now I'm going to put just a little snail on the back. I'm going to wrap my thread. Now I do want to tie a bow out of this, so I'm going to leave my tail a little bit long on the front. I'm going to wrap it twice. Okay, so that's just kind of sticking on the back a little bit. And then I bring it together and I tie my bow. Now I left it long so that I can work with the bow easily. And then after I get the bow tied, I can trim my ends. So I'll just tie regular bow, tie in a shoe. You can pull on it a little bit, make it smaller or bigger, adjust it out a little bit. Okay, let's see, that needs a little work. These ends, pull that one in a little bit. Bows take practice, so don't worry if yours are a little off. Okay, so now I'm going to put dimensionals on the back here. Now I am going to put dimensionals right over that thread to help hold it in place. I need one on the other end. And then I'm just going to put this on my card. So right about there. Now remember, I wanted to overlap those stems a little bit. Now I'm just going to give it a little haircut. And if you're worried about that bow wiggling around, take another glue dot right here. It's like, where did they go? And just kind of roll it up between your fingers, and then you can stick this, oops, stick it under the knot of that bow and just kind of adhere it down so it stays put. Okay, so there's that. Now we've got 2 more leaves to add here. So again, those glue dots. So I'm going to put one on the back of my stem. And this one I'm going to kind of roll up behind the stem so it's not too sticky elsewhere. And I'm just going to slide that in under that twine a little bit. And then I have a vanilla one as well. And again, I'm just going to curl that behind the stem. And I'm going to slide that in, overlapping, and there we go. There is our version of her card cased up. Now this one I've got the Wink of Stella on, so I'll just take a second and I'm just going to paint over my pine cone with a little Wink of Stella just to give it a little more sparkle and bling. And there we go. Alright guys, so as always, the PDF will be on next week's show and tell tutorial. I'll also have it posted on my website where I'm starting to post my tutorials where you can purchase them if you miss them on the newsletter. And this will be the blog post, so more details there on all of our products that I used today. So if you need something or you're wondering what was that set she used again, it will all be on the blog in my details. So go on, visit the blog, shop with me. Here's my hostess code if you shop online. I've got all kinds of perks that I tell you about on my blog post for shopping with me. And I hope you enjoyed today's case. All right, everybody, go do some fun stamping, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.